While We Wait was commissioned by the Victoria and Albert Museum in London. It's one of the projects on our current research on stereotomy, so the art of cutting stones. In Palestine, we have a law that was inherited from the Ottoman Empire that obliged us actually to use stone as a primer material in construction. But it passed from being used as a structural component to today only as a cladding of envelopes and decorative elements in construction. So we are trying to replace stone as a noble material, and we took the occasion in the frame of this commission at the V&A to propose a structure that is totally self-supported and work on the geometry of stones, generating this tower-shaped structure.
Stereotomy is the way of cutting elements of stone in a particular way in order to assemble them in a larger configuration. For this project, the interfaces between the stones are doubly curved ruled surfaces that have opposite normal directions. So when you stack elements of stone on top of each other, they are interlocked and they are blocked in two lateral directions. And the global structure gives it a lateral stability.
So there are three different stones that are quarried from the region around Bethlehem, and they start from being red stones, gradually going to the top, they become white. We wanted to have the red stone on the bottom in order to anchor the structure into the coloring of the natural landscape of the valley, the coloring of the earth and the soil. The stones are only stacked, and by the geometry that is generated through the bricks, they generate this whole stability of the overall structure.
Well, what's interesting about it opening in London is that it's sort of the inverse of how an object normally reaches a museum collection. Normally it reaches there when it's had its sort of purpose in life, and it arrives as a sort of precious commodity or object within a museum. It started its life at the museum, and gradually, as it ends up in the Crimson Valley in Bethlehem, it acquires this function and use and is completely activated and owned in a way by the community. And I think the opportunity to sort of activate the space as a gathering and focal point really makes sense when it comes to housing it in concrete, where it's a cultural community and you have creative practitioners working all around.
The stop in Dubai is important because it creates transversal issues in construction and architecture that are common to the region. So we thought that it made sense actually to have it shown in the Middle East in Dubai because it's quite central and create some sort of bridges in the team of architecture and structural engineering.
The project is meant to be installed permanently in the Crimson Valley west of Bethlehem. One of the goals of the structure is to create a sort of a genius locus of the place, of the Crimson Valley. So we all know that the Crimson Valley will be cut in two, and the landscape will be spoiled, and it won't be anymore the place it has once been. In a wider perspective, we wish to raise awareness on the state of the relation between architecture and nature, and try to better understand why the Palestinian city, which was actually built on the relation between architecture and nature and urbanism, has been transfigured through time